You were born on a farm, which is unfortunate, because before you even hatch, there is already a spreadsheet somewhere describing you as future product. Not animal, product. You haven't even figured out how legs work yet, and capitalism is already monitoring your growth rate. And unfortunately for you, you were born as a chicken, which means evolution has abandoned you entirely because your ancestors were jungle birds, tiny survival experts, fast, aggressive, capable of flight. Then humanity got involved and somehow turned that creature into a screaming bread loaf with anxiety issues. Modern chickens no longer feel naturally evolved. They feel focus tested, like a committee asked, how do we make a bird with the structural integrity of wet cardboard? And biology answered, I have horrible news. Because over the next few weeks, your life becomes an industrialized fever dream. Your body grows so fast, your legs may literally stop cooperating. You will live shoulder to shoulder with thousands of other chickens, all screaming like they collectively owe money to the government. The air smells like regret. Nobody knows what's happening. And every few hours, another chicken experiences a full psychological collapse over absolutely nothing. A shadow moves? Panic. A sound happens? Panic. One bird sneezes weirdly? Entire civilization collapse. Chickens are basically the internet if the internet had feathers. And somehow, it gets worse. Because chickens are not peaceful at all. People imagine farms as wholesome places with sunshine and banjos. Meanwhile, the chickens are running a tiny maximum security prison economy. They establish dominance by pecking each other, sometimes violently, which means your roommates are also your coworkers, your enemies, and occasionally cannibals. Imagine living in an apartment where your neighbors might randomly eat Steve. That's farm life now. And the truly horrifying part? This species became unbelievably successful. There are billions of chickens on Earth. Humanity has mass-produced so many of these panic-powered meat goblins that they now outnumber most wild birds combined, which means somehow, against all biological logic, the chicken won evolution. Not eagles, not wolves, not sharks. The screaming boneless omelet won. And once you see how this animal actually lives, you may never emotionally recover from chicken nuggets again, because your problems begin immediately after hatching. Industrial hatcheries are basically giant baby processing factories. Conveyor belts, machines, heat lamps, thousands of tiny birds moving around like popcorn with emotional trauma. And remember earlier when I said males are economically useless in the egg industry?
But I have a good personality.
No, reject it.
Yeah, about that. If you hatch mode, the corporation essentially looks at you and goes,
Unfortunately, this one does not produce breakfast.
which is a deeply corporate sentence to hear on your first day alive. Meanwhile, the females move on to egg production. Congratulations. Your career path is now calcium depletion. Because modern hens lay an absurd number of eggs. Wild jungle fowl laid maybe a few dozen eggs yearly. Modern hens crank out over 300. At this point, it's less reproduction and more biological overtime.
More eggs! The chart demands it!
Your body is basically operating a 24-hour breakfast factory. Every day, new egg, no weekends, no retirement, no union representation. Your skeleton is slowly being converted into brunch, and chickens are somehow awake for all of this, which is honestly rude. Scientists used to think chickens were dumb, but chickens actually recognize faces, establish social hierarchies, and remember individuals. Meaning Kevin the chicken isn't just chicken number 42. Kevin has
my
enemies.
sworn enemy!
Kevin
This
has
food
opinions.
is an outrage! It's just seeds! My opinions are back!
Kevin has probably started several gang-related incidents near the food dispenser.
What's all this then?
Because chickens are shockingly dramatic animals. If one bird finds food, everyone wants the food. If one bird panics, entire flock panic. If one chicken decides violence is necessary, suddenly the barn becomes a medieval battlefield. Tiny dinosaur riots, feathers everywhere. One guy screaming in the corner for absolutely no reason. And because thousands of chickens live packed together, stress levels become astronomical. Imagine spending your entire life in a Walmart during Black Friday. Now remove human language and replace everyone with nervous pigeons on espresso. That's basically modern chicken farming. And unfortunately, your body is also falling apart. Broiler chickens are bred to grow unbelievably fast, which sounds efficient until you realize their skeletons did not agree to this arrangement. Some chickens grow so quickly that walking becomes difficult. Imagine being 6 weeks old and already needing physical
You
therapy.
can do it. Keep pushing. Oh, so tired.
Your chest becomes enormous. Your legs start filing formal complaints. Your entire existence feels like a biology student trying to speed run natural selection. And because chickens barely fly anymore, their main defense mechanism is confusion. That's it. Confusion. A predator appears and the entire flock reacts like someone yelled tax audit in a shopping mall. Birds sprint everywhere. Nobody has a plan. One chicken runs into a wall. Another screams at the ceiling. A third somehow forgets movement entirely. Nature once created velociraptors. Now we have this. And predators absolutely adore chickens. Foxes, coyotes, hawks, raccoons. To predators, chickens are basically self-delivering sandwiches. Even the farm dog occasionally looks at them like, man, you are making survival way too easy. And honestly, the chickens agree, because these birds possess the survival instincts of expired yogurt. Sometimes chickens will literally stand in the rain staring upward, which sounds harmless until you realize they can accidentally drown themselves. Imagine losing a fight against weather. That's your species now.
You lost to water.
And yet, despite being catastrophically bad at existing, chickens conquered Earth. There are more chickens alive than almost every wild bird species combined. Humanity looked at evolution's careful balancing system and said, what if one bird became infinite? And evolution apparently responded, I mean, technically, that works, which creates an incredibly uncomfortable realization. From nature's perspective, the chicken may actually be one of the most successful animals ever created. Not because it's strong, not because it's intelligent, but because humans turned it into biological infrastructure. The chicken stopped being wildlife a long time ago. Now it's basically edible software, a living resource pack, a feathered subscription service for protein. And honestly, the psychological part might be the weirdest thing, because chickens still do normal bird things sometimes. They sunbathe, they communicate, mother hens protect chicks. Some chickens even enjoy affection, which means somewhere beneath the industrial nightmare, there's still an actual animal in there, a tiny confused descendant of dinosaurs trying its best. Unfortunately, humanity has decided its best is delicious. And the craziest part? If chickens suddenly became intelligent enough to understand their situation, civilization would probably collapse immediately. Because imagine billions of emotionally aware birds finally realizing, wait, you people built an entire global empire around eating us? That's not agriculture anymore. That's betrayal on a planetary scale. And honestly, the chickens would be justified, because evolution spent millions of years crafting terrifying apex predators, sharks, tigers, bears. Then humans arrived and won the planet using anxious breakfast birds. Dinosaurs once ruled Earth through power and dominance. Their descendants rule it through family meal deals, which may genuinely be the most humiliating ending in evolutionary history. Still here? Might as well subscribe. Bye!